Hey, what's going on, everybody? Want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Say That Again. And I'm your boy, AG the OG, joined with my man, KG the Kid. What's happening with your cabin? Happy Mardi Gras, baby. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras. It's Ash Wednesday. Family had a great weekend in New Orleans. I didn't go this year. I'm going to do all the participation next year. But, hey, happy Mardi Gras, man. I should be wearing my purple, yellow, and green, but I got on this. Right? Yeah, I got on this Dragon Ball Z fit. Oh, what am I doing? Let me go change. Nah. Next year.
That was yesterday anyway.
Yeah, that was yesterday anyway. But yeah, happy. It's a very prominent holiday in our little culture in New Orleans. So,
our little culture. Shout out New Orleans.
Shout out,
representing all day.
Shout out, man. How was your weekend?
Mine was good. I'm just getting a little, if I must say, I'm getting tired of giving the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game chances, bro. I'm done with it. It's trash. Made me ruin my weekend. Combat sports connoisseur over here. Friday night had a couple good fights to put on, and got a really big fight this weekend with Jake Paul, Tommy Fury that we could touch up at the end just to put emphasis on it, because that will be a big fight. But outside of that, man, I had a damn good weekend. I can't complain. How about yourself?
We have been waiting for this fight for a long time. It seemed like Tommy Fury was dodging my man. He was dodging my man Paul. Let's be honest.
It looked like it there for a minute. He was fumbling the bag. Calling Tommy fumbles.
Yeah. But my weekend was great. One of my best men had a birthday party. Went out to the club. Me and the wife had a great time. Unfortunately, car got towed. Should be illegal, because when I went to go pick up my car,
what you got towed for was probably illegal. What you talking about? It should be illegal.
No, it should be illegal, because in other cities, unlike Houston, they don't just tow cars like that. I parked in a neighborhood on the side of the public street, came out, and amongst other people, my stuff was gone. And then when I picked it up, guess what they said? They picked it up and said I was a prisoner. So I went and picked it up, and the basis of the tow was based on that I got arrested, which was not accurate. So, and then when I walked out, I saw a sign saying no parking from like Wednesday to Sunday from a certain particular time. But when I was parking again in that neighborhood, because I'm parking in a neighborhood, so I didn't block nobody's driveway, didn't do anything. And it's the street on Washington out here in Houston. But again, it's the tow about, again, I've been to other cities. They don't do that, but they look for people to tow on purpose. It should be illegal. It cost me $280. And I'm like, dang, was it worth going out? I could have Ubered the whole way. I had to Uber home. That cost me $38.
That's hustling backwards, bro.
Tell me about it, but I'm still here. I'm fine.
Paid $280. Now you had to pay $280.
But hey, I went out, made money. I went out. I'm fine. We still had a good time. We still persevere no matter what happens. When the enemy try to get you down, try to break you, we still push through. And I'm here. Got the call back. Ain't nothing but a thing. We'll make the money back. Ain't worrying about it. You ain't gonna break my already. So,
not at all. So.
Yeah. So just wanted to get into my little history here from a city that we're from, and I wanted to touch upon Mardi Gras. A lot of people don't know what that is. A lot of people want to find it out. A lot of people say, why are these people so excited? Why are they happy? So Mardi, just know Mardi is a French word that means Tuesday, and Gras means fat in French. So, and it's always, Mardi Gras is always the day before Ash Wednesdays. So just remember that. Now, there's a big tradition on it. If you want to read up on it, you're free to do so. But I'm going to only speak about Mardi Gras in regards to New Orleans, because that's the way we rep it. That's how it's mostly known in the U.S.
Synonymous.
Synonymous. But the first American Mardi Gras took place on March 3rd, 1699. When French explorers Pierre-Louis Monnier in Iberville and Sir Bienville.
My boy Iberville?
And Bienville?
Hey, that's all through New Orleans.
Yeah, they landed near President's Day in New Orleans, Louisiana. They had a small celebration and dubbed their landing spot Point du Mardi Gras. So, and for decades to follow, New Orleans and the other French settlement began making it a holiday. Mardi Gras is the only, in the U.S., New Orleans is the only city that observes Mardi Gras as an actual holiday. Something else to know. So, and we followed the streets, making it a holiday parties. We masked with balls, lavish dinners. When the Spanish took control of New Orleans, however, they abolished these rowdy rituals, and the bans remained in the force until Louisiana became a U.S. state in 1812. That was interesting. On Mardi Gras in 1827, a group of students donned the colorful costume, danced the streets of New Orleans, emulating the revelry they've observed while visiting Paris. 10 years later, the first recorded New Orleans Mardi Gras parade took place, and the tradition continues today. So
it's a long time, bro. It's a long time.
And I'll get into this real quick. And since the crews have remained a fixture of the carnival scene throughout Louisiana, other lasting costumes include throwing beads and other trinkets, wearing masks, decorating floats, and my favorite, eating the king cake. So I want to know, we grew up with this, y'all. And before I go and talk about my experience, tell me your experience and what does Mardi Gras mean to you, AG?
Being from New Orleans, a lot. I'm New Orleans through and through. Like I'm actually proud. I'm glad to say that I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. What's funny is I get up here in Louisville, I get asked all the time where I'm from. Soon as I get in a conversation with somebody new, they always ask where you from because you ain't from around here. And I got to tell them. And I had a dude the other day talk about, he said, what borough you from? And I'm like, I'm not from the boroughs. I'm from the wards. And he didn't know it. He kind of at first, I know he thought I was being disrespectful. But I thought it was funny. I'm like, I'm not from the boroughs. I'm from the wards. So, based off of that, I'm New Orleans through and through, man. So anything that has to do with New Orleans, that originated New Orleans, that just when something happens in New Orleans, I'm huge on it. So Mardi Gras, obviously being that French thing and the little history lesson you just gave, which a lot of knowledge in there. Being from New Orleans and Mardi Gras, it just kind of it means something. It does. So just old experiences to me, it's not something that I hold sacred, so to speak. But when it comes to events and stuff like that is one of the things that is proudly listed on the New Orleans list of. And then I get asked all the time too, you ever been to Mardi Gras? And it's it's almost like a silly ass question that they ask that. I mean, but that's because they don't know. They don't know. Is it something that all New Orleanians go to, or is it only tourists that go, or, and just the history on it, and even what it means to visitors and tourists and stuff, and how it is such a popular thing outside of the United States, but how it delivers and thrives in New Orleans. And I love it. I love Fat Tuesday from Endymion to Bacchus. But no. So my favorite thing, you mentioned that king cake, man. Man, it's hard to give me some good king cake up here. It is damn hard. So every time you sending them pictures of them king cakes, I'm let you know I got a little jealousy going on over here, a little envious over here. So I ain't even gonna lie. Same thing with the boiled seafood. But you was mentioning too what would be my favorite with the floats, and you named a few things like the tradition and stuff. But you know what I probably they had it in the beginning stages. Obviously, I know they did with the old school. But you know what I love that has modernized and is just an intricate part of a parade, and that's the marching bands, baby. I mean, you get those marching bands in the street, and you got the drum majors and the cheerleaders. That shit is wild, and that's you almost, at least me, certain bands, and obviously in advance, people talking, and I think there's even lineups and stuff that you can get and find out who's in the parade and stuff like that. When you anticipating them and they walking and they holding and they got that banner and everything, it's lit. It gets lit. And you anticipate the bands more than catching the beats. And catching the beats is almost what it's all about. Damn near. But man, do I love me a marching band, man. Whew, I love a good marching band. Shout out Mardi Gras in New Orleans, baby. Shout out.
The crazy thing is when you talk about marching band, my dad is the ultimate marching band guru. From making music, when he would come to New Orleans, you know, we sang all the way, purple and gold, baby. Best marching band, marching 100, and we would walk. You know, my dad went to St. Aug, my cousin went to St. Aug, I had uncle, you know, go to St. Aug. I went to St. Aug for a short time before Katrina took it away. Something that sucks, but I played trumpet. My dad played trumpet. Cousin was in the color guard. It's nothing like two bands before the parade start battling each other, battling it out. Woo! When I tell y'all,
beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. And if you were ever raised in New Orleans or grew up in New Orleans, 8 to 9 times out of 10, you were in a parade of some sort. You marched, you did something. I was in plenty of parades. So the great thing about New Orleans is you get to be in the parades, see all the guests and the tourists visiting. Mardi Gras for me growing up, you know, I won't get too long-winded on all type of the traditions we have. We can get to that other stuff. But what Mardi Gras means to me, y'all, my mom would dress us up, all my brothers and sisters, family would come in town. We have on our yellow, green, and purple shirts, all dressed alike. It's on Tuesday, obviously you got Endymion, like you mentioned. Sunday, Bacchus. Monday, we call Orpheus. That's the band
That's
night.
what a lot of people don't understand about Mardi Gras too, is that it actually is a
carnival
season. Like,
it's a carnival season starting MLK Day. MLK Day.
So a lot of them think that it's just a single holiday day that you kind of represent, and it's like that's the main day. Mm-hmm. But they don't realize the parade schedule and how it works, because they
absolutely. And you got Zulu balls. You got a crew. Like next year, I'm gonna be in a crew with my friends. I'm gonna be on the float. Me and Zulu going to the ball, going to these things in New Orleans. So it's actually and they got crews all over the country. So when they celebrate and throw their balls, like DC, my cousin has one in DC. So these are all over, and they come to New Orleans once a year and celebrate this. So this is a big deal. This is a culture thing. That's why when me and you talk, you live in Indiana, I live in Houston, and when we go anywhere over the world, we speak pretty much because our culture's the same. So that's that when I tell people, when anybody raised and grew up in New Orleans, they speak the same. When you go to other cities, like let's say Houston, for instance, it's very diverse. But everybody don't speak or have the same culture. So many different cultures here. There's no identity because it's a newer city. In New Orleans, you don't get that too much. Everybody lockstep. We saints. But nevertheless to say, Mardi Gras, we eat, we enjoy, we feast, we have time off from school.
We always feast.
Yeah, well, we always eat in New Orleans.
We are feasters.
Mardi Gras is just a feeling that is hard to explain, and I recommend that something that everyone in their lifetime should experience. It's like certain things in this world that you should get to experience and travel to and go to. If you ever get a chance, whoever listening, or we have worldwide listeners or anything, if you ever get that chance, get a chance to come to New Orleans, or go to New Orleans rather, and experience Mardi Gras. So
yeah, that's one of, if any, that might be top five, you know, because then you got all, you know, Jazz Fest, Essence Fest, and that's what I'm talking about, like festivities and events, so to speak, you know, not necessarily talking about like a monument or a museum to go to that's kind of like always there, talking about like a thing that you can only catch once a year. That type of event, you know, and Mardi Gras has got to be right up there.
And only in New Orleans, that level of it being celebrated. Again, other places celebrate it in the United States, but it's not to the degree. It's not to the degree of what New Orleans does, and how New Orleans really embraces, and it's a part of New Orleans. Is what people use their life savings on, is what people die for, literally, their whole lives. And And it's hard to explain. I say, if you're not from New Orleans, if you never experienced it, you wouldn't understand. You have to go. You see how we act for any single thing. Most of us, we all bleed black and gold. We all love. And then right after the Mardi Gras, the Crawfish Festival. It's just so much in New Orleans. Every single step. And then you have people from all over the U.S. Just like the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, you have people all over the U.S. that come and participate in the parades. Yeah. So you gotta take that into account as well. You have that. So I can go on and on. We can talk about the New Orleans history. Me and you took New Orleans history together at the same school in middle school. Remember that? Yeah. So, you get a chance, everybody, look it up, check it out, make plans for next year. Remember, Mardi Gras, you got to make plans way in advance. So
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, Mardi Gras ain't moved for nothing. Like even the Super Bowl have to be around, the All-Star game. That has to be worked around Mardi Gras, because Mardi Gras can't be changed because it's based after Ash Wednesday. It's certain things that's set in stone that are never nothing can trump Mardi Gras. Again, it's been Super Bowl meets Mardi Gras, but the Super Bowl can't even trump Mardi Gras in New Orleans the way it's planned and sought out.
Years that they will have the Super Bowl in New Orleans, they migrating it with Mardi Gras festivities. I guarantee you that's a part of the, that's just another side dish on the entire course meal of Mardi Gras,
Absolutely. But like I say, y'all check it out, and we about to get into the show. We just want to explain some of our culture to y'all, and hopefully it's heard, because New Orleans and what it offers, I believe, don't get talked about enough on mainstream media, and it's a great place. There are other places in this world besides LA and New York and Miami, even though shout out Miami.
Bon ton roulette, baby. Let's go. Let them good times roll. We rolling with it. Let's go. Let's get into the episode. Hot take.
Yeah, I saw some we saw something very interesting that we wanted to kind of take in and give some thoughts on, and give our opinion and our 2 cents on Say It Again, because this is what we do. We in episode 4, so we about to start bringing out what more we entail in
no holds bar, no cancel culture. We are understanding culture.
Absolutely. So let's check this out.
Okay.
Men fear me. Not all men, of course, but I'll go into a restaurant and women will be like, I love your shoes, very much good vibes. And men will be like, what? Did someone walk in? I'm not looking. I'm not gay, And they'll just have this implosion. And this, I think, is why the world, which is still sadly largely run by men, wants to destroy trans people. It's because of our power. Men fear me.
Say that again.
So on Say It Again, we want to hit this again because that's what we're about.
Yeah, definitely. Say that again. Videos? Shout out to whose TikTok videos is? Because this is a viral video now. It's a viral video.
So this is at the Jeffrey Marsh. So go ahead and say it again.
Jeffrey Marsh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Not all men, of course, but I'll go into a restaurant and women will be like, I love your shoes, very much good vibes. And men will be like, what? Did someone walk in? I'm not looking. I'm not gay, And they'll just have this implosion. And this, I think, is why the world, which is still sadly largely run by men, wants to destroy trans people. It's because of our power. Men fear.
Men fear. Okay. So if you don't mind, all right, I got a couple things. I got a problem with this video. All right, the Jeffrey, you said Jeffrey Marsh. Make
Yeah,
a video.
that's at
Okay,
the
you know,
Jeffrey Marsh. That's correct.
at the Jeffrey Marsh. Human being deserves every bit of respect that every other human being deserves. Okay, there's no shortage of respect on or anything for this person. Anything outside of that character is for a different topic. Okay, so let's get to exactly what is said. You know, first off, men fear him, her, not quite sure. Correct, you know, at this point, we only seeing a viral video, so it would be a topic of conversation that you couldn't hold against me for asking. But in this case, and even then, he says not all men. So I'm glad you said that, because it ain't all men. So here's what we get into. Talk about how men fear you for what you are. You know what I mean? But women kind of, you know, give that good vibe that, oh, I love your shoes. Okay. You know, my reasoning behind that is, do they fear, or are they just not interested? They're not engaged. Women get engaged because of what he is delivering. He is a feminine look. So if he's wearing women's shoes, then he's going to garner women attraction. That's the nature of it. And if men are not interested in what you're delivering, and in all no disrespect, not attracted to you, then they're not going to look your way. They're almost going to act like you don't exist, because at this point, if I'm not interested in what that is, then I just leave it be. I'm on my own business. So the women see the shoes, and she sees good vibes from the women, but the men, you're not seeing that. So flip that around. If you have a woman who wants to be a trans man, walks in with some new J's on, I bet you a man wouldn't have a problem commenting them J's if he really liked them, because that, again, that's up his avenue. Whereas the women who sees the woman who's dressed like a man wearing the J's might not even interact, show no interest or anything, and seem like maybe they fear him on the surface, or whatever it is that you see you looking at. So I have a problem with saying that men fear exactly what that is. What am I fearing? I'm not scared of you. I don't believe that just because you're dressed like that you're going to harm me. You're not bringing anything into this that's dangerous, harm. No, it just, I'm not into it. I don't feel it. I'm not appeasing. I'm not going to engage in it. But at the same time, if I do look at you, am I staring at you? You know, it's covering up the eyes. Oh, I fear it. You know, you're making recognition that I don't want to look at it. But if I do look at it, am I going to get the what am I looking at type of thing? Because now I'm not scared. I'm not showing any fear. I don't want to act like you're not here. But what if I just take the second to be like, what am I looking at? Is this a man like fully decked out as a woman with some nice ass high heels, I might add, with a good looking red dress and a red lipstick? But my goodness, that is not attractive. All right, I'll go back to what I was doing over here. Is that cool? I gave you the attention, showed you I'm not scared. That none of that makes sense to me. So to say that men fear exactly that because men want to ruin transgender, totally disagree. I cannot disagree anymore. And I do not believe heterosexual men don't look at you in that fashion because they fear you. It's because they don't get down with what you're bringing. And I'll end it on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I found the video pretty laughable because it looks like more for clickbait. And in regards to you're saying that men fear a trans woman, I get confused of the terminology. Not that I don't pay attention to the terminology, but a trans woman is a biological male, correct?
Correct.
So that means a biological male is, to me, pretty much a man. So you're telling me, which me and you are both biological men, and that trans woman, you're a man transitioning into a woman. I don't get the whole point of, you say men fear or that trans women are going to take over the world. So are we saying that men that want to be women are going to take over the world? I'm not understanding that. And I should have a right not to look at you if that's not what I want to look at. I love what you're representing. Be your true self. That's amazing. That's great. But if people aren't, if I look at you, oh, what are they looking at? They're looking at me. They judging me. They doing this. So men can't win. Men don't look at you. It's a problem. Men look at you. It's a problem. We get transphobia. We get this. Men in general.
Phobia, first of all, I ain't scared of nobody.
Yeah, a phobia is fear. So you keep saying men fear. Men aren't fearing. Maybe if you put it like this, I am fearful of my son, or all of men on this planet. We will definitely have a problem. And let's just be honest. If all men became transgender and all women became transgender, we will start having a problem with this world population. If every man went to like men and every woman went to like women, let's just do that. And the human race would extinct itself unless we, did it another way of different things of that nature. But if you just put it in that context, then what are we saying here? What attention do you want? Why do you want men's attention? At the end of the day, what do you want from men? Are you making yourself attractive? So are you making yourself look like a woman so men can be attracted to you? So what's the real deal? Because if you're born and you feel like you a certain way, why do you have to transition into something because you want the men? So you feel you're not a man, so you want to become a woman so then men can like you? Because I'm not sure, do you become that and you still like women? I don't know. I guess that's a question I would love for somebody to get on here and somebody who's trans and to answer for us, because I want to know the whole premise. Because if I'm a man and I so happen to like to wear pink, or I wear pink anyways, but if I wanted to wear heels, I'm just a guy who likes to wear heels. I don't believe clothes. I don't believe shoes. I don't believe earrings. I don't believe nothing that you wear defines who you are. So if you're a guy and you want to wear pink, yellow, if you want to wear a dress, have at it. That's your business. But that then, just because your son or somebody likes to wear a dress, don't make them a woman. And just because if a woman likes to work on cars or do stuff, that doesn't make her a man. She could just be a woman that likes to do those things.
But so that's why I think we getting lost with that, is because I feel like there is so many different variations, like you talk about. Like you got some that want to trans over, but still like the same thing. You got some that trans over and like the other thing. And then like at this point, the amount of genders that people are claiming to be is at this point is getting to a number that is getting high. It ain't no more two. Ain't no more just male and female. That you're actually having people identify with other genders. But I'm curious to know what exact power is he referring to in the video? Like, men want to destroy trans people because the power. And the way he puts it, he kind of like,
but a trans woman is a man.
What power are you talking about?
But technically, a trans woman is a biological man. So what are you saying? So what you're saying is technically not making sense. So I just don't understand. To me, if as a man, as anybody, that's just like as a black man, you're white. That's like you saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and be a black man. Well, that's disrespectful to me. It's like blackface. That's disrespectful.
You better start recognizing, cuz.
So me, as a woman and as a woman and what women and what women have to go through, I think it's disrespectful for a biological man to then say, or anybody to say, I am that based on how I feel and based on these things, now I'm gonna claim myself as something that I'm actually I think that's disrespectful to women because of what women, biological women, go through, and to then be clapped for a biological man to then go into women's sports and do all those things or claim whatever. I think it's wrong towards them, and I really do think that. But again, to each his own. Me personally, but at least come with a little bit more than what you're saying. And you're saying fear, and you want all this attention, and you know you got the hair on your chest, wearing a pink dress, beard, it's a little pouchy. Just come with a little bit more. And if I don't want to look at you, I have a right. I'm a man. I'm looking at you on TikTok. I don't fear you, and I don't fear you all. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Let me get this out the way first, and I do look. I feel like I do speak for most men, and probably a lot of women will agree based off because they know they got men and they've been in relationships. This ain't no new science. This ain't something I'm just pulling out of thin air. Like, even though some are good at it, some are not good at it because they get busted in the whole nine yards. A man knows how to look without looking. Okay, if, you know, it's you got that. That's that sense that I get. You know, you men maybe have been busted before for looking at something that they probably shouldn't have been, or looking at, or whatnot. Okay, but at the same time, and even if it ain't just looking for sexual attractiveness, like let's just keep it out. You know, let's keep it a buck here. Okay, even if we ain't looking for like sexual attractiveness, you still can be aware of your surroundings. Okay, so in other words, my point is somebody noticed your ass walking through that door exactly the way you was, with your heels, all the shoes that the girls just complimented you on. They saw you walk through and made a decision within that time frame and was like, yeah, I don't need to keep looking at that. Because again, back to my original point, I've already people make quick judgments in certain situations. And if a man who is a heterosexual male sees a trans woman walk through the door, or a man who still claims to be a man, maybe in his case, but he just enjoys dressing the way he expressing himself in that fashion, dress slips, all that, still goes by he, still goes by his, all that, seen that, just enjoys dressing that way. Again, I'm not interested. I'm not looking your way. Now, back to the original point is that I've already made my decision. I don't want to engage in that. I don't need to keep looking at it if it ain't gonna bring me joy. Then I do the proper thing and not look, not stare. But like back to the point too you made, if I do look and I'm staring, like I originally said too, is that I'm not damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like it's
correct.
At this point, you get lost for words trying to necessarily keep up with this. But again, it's not what is the problem with this video. It's just the expression of it. To say that heterosexual men fear what they bring, again, couldn't disagree more. We don't fear it. We just,
absolutely.
Like, say that again. We just don't like it.
You don't, and again, it goes back to, what are you a trans woman for? Or you transitioning to be a woman because you want men to see you in the light? So if you, because a lot of trans women and a lot of gay or whatever you are, if I'm a man, what I'm interested in is what I'm going to be interested in. So
right.
And as a trans woman, you're saying as a trans woman, you're interested in men. So is a part of why you transitioning to attract men, because in your normal state a man wouldn't like you? So so meaning a man's not going to compliment you. Maybe you're getting compliments from women because women give each other compliments. Hey girl, like those, this. Like men, we don't compliment each other a lot like that. We don't be like, hey man, we don't be like, hey man, you looking good, bro. I like, we don't do that a lot. So
not on that level, but we'll appreciate, we'll shout out an object.
Yeah,
like
hey,
that
man,
hat, like them shoes, like I said.
you look at Sharp, like we'll say stuff like that, but we don't. But if a man we don't know, like this person said, if a man we don't know walking in, I'm not gonna be like, hey man, nice suit, a nice this, a nice watch. Maybe every blue moon,
you ain't gonna be giddy about it neither.
I'm not gonna be giddy. I'm not gonna be giddy about it either. So we have to differentiate those particular things. And I think a lot of times when people make videos, that's just like the girl with the gym video who made a gym video, like every man staring at her in the gym, and they want to. People like to want to act like or pretend like nothing's going on, or they want to pretend like it's always about them, and they require so much attention. I'm telling you, regular women and regular men who dress up every day and walk in the store ain't necessarily worried about who's looking at them all the time. It's always that those people who looking for clout, like when that woman's in the gym dressed a certain way, knowing and looking a certain way and doing stuff and trying to, oh, is this person looking at me or not? If they look at this and you shooting a video, it's like me. If I go into the store and I'm stealing something and I'm like, I'm always questioning, does that person know I'm stealing? That person may not understand that I'm stealing it, but the fact that I know consciously that I'm stealing it makes me think that other people may know.
Facts.
It makes me think that other people may know when they're not even thinking like that. So is it because you dress the way you dress, or you doing what you doing, you automatically assuming men not looking, or you doing this because of what you're doing for quote unquote maybe attention? That's what I also think. I think that people who require attention like that, when they're not getting the attention from who they want to get the attention from, now they're upset. And there you go.
Yeah.
And I'll
and
leave
then,
it at
like
that.
you said, not even to talk about like how what you wearing garners attention. Let's just say, for instance, you not going overboard with it. You staying in the lines of maybe what is presentable, what is respectable, like not drawing attention to yourself. You keeping up with traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still, I feel, have to be cognizant of still the environment, still the situation. You might be wearing regular yoga pants, but if you look good in yoga pants and you go in front of a bunch of guys who just like the look of yoga pants on a woman, then I get it. You're not going overboard. Don't have a big sign on you, but you just went into an environment where things like this are elevated. In that nature. Yeah. It's kind of like you don't go to the gym dressed like you about to go to church. You don't go to church dressed like you about to go to the gym.
And a quick story on that, I give you an example. So I had a Dodge Charger. It was brand new. I had rims. I had 2 TVs in the back. I had the 15s. I had the radio. This is all in about like 20.
Everything big.
Yeah, everything big. It's like 2013. What people don't understand, like normally when I go out to the clubs, I always park valet, because when you driving in something that's nice like that, you got to be able to, you want to park valet. You don't want to just park with the general public from what you have, because you know why? Because
you
people
might get your shit told.
Not told, but I might get jacked as well. So, but people have to understand, I'm driving with this loud, lavish car. I need to park that in the garage because people are going to see me banging. I'm flashy. So it don't matter if whatever you're doing, and if you're flashy. If I walk around with a bunch of jewelry, but real quick on that story, I went out with some friends. And they were like, "Nah, just park in the garage." I was like, "Nah, I always park valet." It's like, it's gonna be cool. Parked in the garage. Came out. I'm thinking I missed a big shot. Come check out my car to everybody. Look at it. Come out. No windows busted. No nothing. Open the door. Everything's gone. The TV's in it. The headrest. The base. The GPS at the time, because we used to put the little GPS on the window before Google Maps came out. So and then I left a phone in the glove compartment. Walked out. It was wiped out. The car was still there, but it was wiped out. But you know why that was? That's because I was flashy and I didn't. Is it right? No, I never would agree that it's right. But we also have to be cognizant when we have something that people want, or we show things that people want, or be flashy. It's right. It can happen. Should it happen?
You knew.
It shouldn't
you
happen.
Knew better.
I knew better. I knew that I should have been more secure with what I did. And that's the whole thing about it. No matter who you are or what you're doing, just try to be, as a man, I have to be that. As a woman is even times 10. I don't want to imagine that because it's tough. But you have to be cognizant of the things that we do in our surroundings and what's going to garner attention that people may want to take it, no matter what it is. So if you have something nice, there's somebody out there that want to steal and take it, no matter what that is. I promise you. That's why they have security.
Oh yeah.
And all that.
But
let's just be honest. We keeping it real. That's why we don't say it again. So we gonna keep it real, even though it may feel, you may feel like this.
Yeah,
you gotta keep it real. We not all about that pretending.
All the leaders talk about we need love and togetherness, but they live behind a gated fence.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like LeBron
they build a wall. They build a wall around their house though because they want to keep us out.
Yeah. So LeBron, all of them talking about, forget the wall and all that. And that's fine if you feel that way, but why there's a wall around your house? Why we can't just go in your house in Beverly Hills? Why people can't just knock on your door? Question. Why you can't let people come? You got $1 million house. Why you can't let people come stay with you? But you got your stuff fenced off. If just somebody try to hop your fence, they gonna get shot. Because
why I can't even reach the front door to ask you? Like, it's cool if you say no. Like at that point, like if I knock on your door and say, "Hey, I need a place to stay. Can I stay here?" You're like, you know what? It's my house. No. Then okay, then I gotta respect that and get my bags and keep it moving. But I can't even get to your front door because you don't trust me enough to even come to your front door. Because I guarantee you think I'm gonna start popping off on the front lawn
and asking for stuff. I'm gonna start asking for stuff, and I'm gonna try to steal your valuables, your cars, your nice that you work. That you work on your cars.
They don't trust you to just come to the front door with simplicity
and ask for an autograph. People don't do that.
They trying to protect their windows, their grass, and all that, and they don't trust us.
Want to keep their grass green while other grass is brown over there.
I don't blame them. It's just keep that same energy.
Don't be a hypocrite.
That's all we ask for. Yeah, don't be a hypocrite. Keep that same energy. Cool. Because if I made it, I'd put up a damn wall too. I put a nice fence if I had LeBron money. I put up a nicer fence than he would. I put that. But anyway, it's just keep that same energy, like you said. That's all that is.
Keep that same energy and stop, and you garnering attention to yourself for whatever it is that you want. And anybody who ever want to discuss this topic with us or discuss more transgender, straight, heterosexual, whatever it may be, I'm with it. I'm all for it. I'm more for education and understanding, and I'm with it. And
then the flip side of that coin too is the understanding from my perspective was to not get off too much on a topic that we will obviously revisit again.
Absolutely.
Was that they need to stop referring to like mother and father, and they need new words. And it's like, look, at this point, if you want to add words to refer to who gave birth to you and who whatever, you make up your own words, but don't all of a sudden say mother and father is too masculine and feminine. Don't come up with your own words and have that for you all. Don't, but that's where they try to push the agenda. A lot of them do. I don't want to say all. Back to what we're talking about. No rule. There's always exception to rules, but Absolutely. A lot of it is like this video that's clickbait. Seems to be clickbait material. That's an agenda-driven thing, and that
again. Who cares what you do inside your house? Why would you do inside your house? I have to know. If I want to raise my child, and me and my wife want to raise our child a certain way, and we want to do what we do inside our house, that's what we decide to do. It doesn't. Every other neighbor or nobody has to accept that. What we do in our house is what we do in our house, and I think that's the main thing here. Everyone does not have to like, or everyone doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be forced upon everyone to agree with your ideology or whatever that may be.
Yeah, and it's getting worse on the outside the house though. That's where it's absolutely teaching of it in schools. Other kids, and it ain't safe because not a household that believes in the totally opposite of what we believe in is teaching their kid, who's now at the school with your kid, telling you these things. And kids' minds is like sponges. They soak up information and stuff and knowledge and what they hear and what they read and what they see. And also they bring that back home, and they get ideas and stuff. And you as a parent have to combat that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a topic that's going to be around for a long time.
Yes, it
and
is.
We have to understand
yes,
that.
Indeed.
And this is something that needs to be addressed quickly, urgently, for our future going forward. But on a lighter note, getting off that, on a lighter note, and about LeBron James, saw a lot of great movies this weekend. Saw Ant-Man. I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but
negative, Ghost Rider.
Disappointed me. So
no.
Yeah, it disappointed me. I thought Jonathan Majors was great, but the movie overall with MCU, this was one of the more disappointing movies.
I told you, you believing in these trailers too much, man.
Trailers really been. If a trailer's good, the movie turns out not to be that good. Excuse me for the cough.
They do that on purpose.
But back to movies. I want to do a little movie comparison because there's been so much GOAT debate, yada yada yada, and what Space Jam versus Space Jam 2 New Legacy. Which one do you feel was better, and why?
I feel like this really isn't even a question you had to ask, but I mean, I really don't even feel like it's close. The original Space Jam movie is leagues and miles better than the New Legacy movie. And, you know, I'm going to put it out on a limb. Jordan is the GOAT. Okay. All jokes aside. All right. The movie. Okay. Look, let's go. Let's take a step back. It's kind of Space Jam was true to its roots. It's kind of like a Looney Tune universe, kept it original. You the same animation and everything that kind of Looney Tunes was bringing at that time and stuff. I know animation changes and there's different types of animation out there, but that movie stuck with like the core popular type of animation that Looney Tunes was bringing at that moment, which made Looney Tunes hot. The New Legacy is, to me, we'll get to the plot here in a second, but just the animations of it. At first, I was fine with it because it was normal in what I thought. But then all of a sudden, with the CGI and Don Cheadle's character, with him being able to create with these players and the animation looked totally different, that threw me off. I wasn't feeling that nature of it. Like, just the sheer fact that the Looney Tunes are in the movie and LeBron had to go to the Looney Tunes world is scientific enough. You don't need to add a subplot of being able to change the animation. Like, oh, it's super animation now. And with the Diana Taurasi and all that being the snake and they being the... Look, again, keep it... Sometimes doing too much. Like, less is more. In this situation, they went overboard with the animation. The Monstars just, that's it. When they touched the talent, they went up, shot up, got real big, stood that way the whole movie. No changes, no 5 limbs, no 6 limbs. They just big, ugly, humanoid looking aliens. And the New Legacy just kind of, it was terrible with the animation on that. I wasn't liking that. Then the plot, before I let you go. Again, Space Jam original, just a simple plot. The Looney Tunes need help winning a basketball game, a normal basketball game, okay? So what do? You go call the best player on the planet to help you win the basketball game. Okay, nope, pretty simple, okay? Then all of a sudden you got the New Legacy. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you got a CGI intelligence trying to brainwash a kid against his father, who is LeBron James at this point. And all of a sudden now you have the AI who brainwashes his son and gets him to go get mad at LeBron and all this over some game and stuff. Like, What happened to just Bugs Bunny and them just needing help in their world, and you go get the greatest player at that time, LeBron James? But no, we had to take it. They went overboard. Again, I will admit that generational gaps usually hold on to what's near and dear to them, which I'm fine with that, and I will recognize the bias. But I do feel like objectively, what all I explained with the animation and the plot and everything, I do just think it's subpar. I really do. There's a lot of things that I'll hold near and dear to my heart that's older. New stuff comes out that I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit better. But then, again, flip side of that, no, I felt objectively first Space Jam's way better than the second.
And I couldn't agree with you more. The first Space Jam just wipes that. But you know what's funny? What I don't understand about people? They say the reason why LeBron is above Kobe is because Kobe is like Jordan. And the reason why they can't put Kobe up there is because he's similar to Jordan in a lot of ways.
He's a replica.
But LeBron James was the one that chose the same number as Jordan. He's the one who did so many things like Michael Jordan. To me, more than Kobe. Even though Kobe's game and Jordan's game was very, very similar, to me, there's not have been put it like this. LeBron James don't have the ability to do what Michael Jordan did. Kobe Bryant just had the ability and worked hard in putting the work to achieve that. So I don't understand if people say the best player is Michael Jordan and the closest thing ever to Michael Jordan is Kobe, but he ain't the second best. I don't understand what that means.
That math ain't math.
I really, really don't understand what that means, right? So
I agree.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's weird to me in itself. And when one gripe I had with the movie was the fact that one big gripe I had with the movie is I didn't like the son going against his dad. Like, what reason? Like, why put a black son at that? That's just the way I look at it, against his father. Like, that's bad in this day and time, showing what black fathers are. Why do that? You see? And everything else was just horrible. There's no reason. It's a cartoon movie. Keep it cartoon. Like you say, doing less would have been more in that scenario. So there was no reason to do all that. And, because I personally believe the movie was too close to LeBron James's actual life, because he had the oldest son playing ball good. At that time, nobody knew what the youngest son wanted to do. So people were kind of confused about, people were really, really confused about Bryce. So we have to remember that. But overall, the director, I believe, was the director Ryan Coogler? Yeah, right? I think it was. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. But I think the director was Ryan Coogler. They once again,
who rated the first one?
Did
I don't know that either.
Yeah, look that up for me. Look that up for me and let me know. Look that up for me and let me know.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, let's look it up real quick. Directed by Malcolm Lee. Shout out Malcolm Lee. Terrible ass movie. You all right over there, my man?
Yeah, my headphones just died on me. My bad.
The $500 headphones just went out of commission, folks. The $500 headphones is out of commission. Couldn't even keep up with your boy. But yeah, man, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Look, it's getting me sick over here just talking about it. Terrible ass movie, man.
Yes, terrible.
You know what?
It's
I get it. You know, we just recently had the LeBron GOAT comparisons and all that, so it's kind of a hot topic. But even then, for movie comparison weekend, for movie review weekend, for the Space Jam, like that's leagues and miles. The original is leagues and miles ahead of the new one, so that was a smash comparison. Next time we have movie comparison analysis weekend, we better deliver some Academy Award type movies. You know, this shit ain't delivering.
You know, what do you think about that Creed 3 coming out? I'm excited for that one.
I'm definitely ready for that Creed 3. You know,
Creed 3
boxing aficionado over here, but. I think in Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. Shout out to my man Michael B. So,
I just saw a study. They say he has the prettiest face based on this face scan that they do on the planet.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. His face structure, the way his face is structured and all that. I don't see it. Really? The way his face is structured and everything, he has the best structured man face. I think the next one was like Liam Hemsworth, the guy who played Thor's, another guy as well. So I don't get all that, but yeah, that was that. We got Shazam coming out, Fury of the Gods. Got some bangers coming this summer. I'm excited. I love going to the movies. I'm thinking about getting I'm really considering thinking about getting a monthly membership for the movie. It's like $18.99, and considering a movie ticket can cost $20, not including the popcorn.
Going one time covers.
Yeah, well, you get the membership a month, and you can go see unlimited movies at the movie theater. You pay $18.99.
That's what I'm saying. You $18.99 a month, and you can go.
You can go anytime. Yeah. So it's something I'm thinking about considering based on how much the movie tickets cost. So, but yeah, that's just some information we had on that. I've been wanting to talk about that a long time. That Space Jam legacy. I'm still upset about it. Just something I've been really passionate about, and I was upset about when it came out that they went that direction when they didn't have to go that direction with that movie, because it's not that deep. Let LeBron James rescue some Looney Tunes and call it a wrap, and his family gets to see. So
right.
But yeah. So we have this interesting thing here that's been really I've been kind of looking into, and that's marijuana. And there's a lot of people in jail.
I'm in love with Mary Jane.
There's a lot of people in
marijuana.
There's a lot of people in jail for possession of weed. They say weed's a gate drug. I don't know, whatever.
That gateway drug.
I'm not a big smoker like that. Not saying I've never smoked or tried things. I believe we all try things in life.
Hell yeah, we both went to college.
Whatever that.
About you, but I had some fun in college while I was also, well, if you must know it, I didn't graduate college until my third try. So, but your boy got his degree though, fully official, got his degree. So.
Yeah, it took me a while too.
3 tries. 3 tries.
Yeah,
I was a freshman 3 times.
Well, again, everybody has a different. I tell people,
was a sophomore, junior, and senior one
time. But yeah, this is an interesting topic because I've been always saying, well, hey, if you make marijuana legal in all states, do you have to let those people out of prison and get rid of their free labor? What do you do for that? In regards to that, what do those states do in regards to that?
That is a good question. Well, like you said, one thing we're gonna have to divvy up is what has been done to states now that have legalized it. Now, I can only think that anybody who was in jail at the state level for some marijuana would be let out in this case. Because again, remember, it's still not federally legal. So with it not being federally legal, if you in the federal penitentiary for some marijuana, then it don't matter what state legalizes it, because you're not in there for state reasons. You in there for federal prison. You know, you're not in the state pen. You're in the federal. So that's a touchy subject right there. Is the difference? Okay, even if it ain't talking about marijuana, when it comes to laws and rules in general, who should trump who? You know, state level, should the state level be an end all say all? Should the federal government have enough power to come in and break your stuff down because they think it's illegal, but yet the state says it's all right? And so one thing we'd have to do is look up what's happened to offenders who was already in there for marijuana charges and see what those Colorados have done, what Californians have done, what Michigan has done, what Massachusetts has done. It's a lot. I think there's 13 last I recall, there's like 13 or 14 states with 100% recreational legal marijuana.
Is selling drugs something that's going to be history based on the dispensaries? You keep opening up selling marijuana. So we ain't talking about
selling marijuana.
Yeah. So it's selling marijuana, AKA, you know, what some people call it weed or whatever you refer to. Mary Jane.
Selling the weed.
Reggie
selling
Bush.
The weed. Come on. No holds bars.
He gave me the
no
birds and the bees.
It's weed on the street.
He gave me the birds and the bees in these trees. Medea movie. One, I can't remember which one.
A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Indeed. Leprechaun in the hood.
A friend with gold is the best, I'm told.
Oh, man.
Another movie review coming soon.
Yeah, but so what, with all these dispensaries coming out or being released, what's that going to do to the people who sell marijuana now? Are they going to
put them out of business?
Put them out of business. Have you ever been to a dispensary? Have you ever been to a dispensary? I've
been at a dispensary like years ago, back in when I went all the way to Colorado with a friend. This was 2014, 2015. So this is about 7, 8 years ago. Out there, you know, buddy of mine flew out to Colorado, helped him move back while I was out there 2015. Tried it out at the dispensary. See, just to see what it was like, because I was over 21. You know, at this point, you know, you had bought alcohol, and everybody under 21 waits for that one day to buy alcohol. You literally buy alcohol and you realize it ain't no different than buying anything else. And that was not exciting. So I just wanted to see what it was like to go into a dispensary, buy some weed, and see what it was like to do it the legal way. What the hell? Because every time in college I had bought some weed, I had to be low, had to be quiet, put it in your pocket, walk out with it, act like you ain't got it, then go back to your dorm room and try to be quiet with it. But what you mean? I just get to walk into the store, Cash Money, he's gonna give me a bag of ganja, and I'm just gonna walk out, no problem. I gotta see how this goes down. So I mean, the whole experience. Walked into the lobby, you show ID and stuff, got to be valid, all that. Then once they realize I don't think they do too much extensive, background checks or something like that. We ain't got time for that all damn day. But you still got to show 18, and this is before you buy it. It ain't like you pick out what you want, walk up to the cash register like with a bottle, let me see ID, okay, you cool, here it is. No, like they check your ID and stuff, make sure everything's good. Then they put you in a waiting room with other people because this shit busy, jam-packed, and that's when they got your ticket and you wait to go in. At least the one that I went to, this was the setup of how it was. And then that's when you go into the room, and there's, at any given time, they let, 3 and 4 people in the room, but they don't let a whole bunch because they ain't really that much room anyway. It ain't like bottles or cans where you got a whole store. Everything's behind a glass. And that's it. You pick out what you want. They put it in a bag, staple it up, and they tell you if you open this bag, it's an open bottle. It's just same as treating it like open bottle container. And you just don't open it. Can't have it open while you ride. You got to get home before you can open it and enjoy it. And that's how they went down. Got some. We went back to his place in Colorado. And here was the catcher though. Here's even more to catch him. Forget buying it. I just learned the experience of buying it. It's still in the bag. It's still kind of sitting. Obviously, I could be riding with it. We get back. You got it, roll up. Now you could just smoke it outside. It don't matter who smells the weed. You can just smoke it. It's again, if it's a smoke-free area like a cigarette, you can't smoke. There's places obviously where you just can't blow the smoke. But if you outside your door and you just outside amongst that, spark up. And if it again back to the old experience where like in all our college days where you got to kind of keep this on the low. It felt so awkward that you could just puff away. But I tell you what I didn't like though was where he was staying temporarily before he moved back was like a condominium apartment complex type of thing. Had a nice place, but it wasn't a house, right? When the neighbors smoked, you could smell it at his place. Kind of like it's going through the vents. Like it wasn't cool. So, with all that being said, cool experience. But, again, my dealings with weed in the past, I can't get on board with it's a gateway drug. Is no matter how much alcohol I drank, no matter how much weed I smoked, I never wanted to go to the next level. I never felt I needed to get to that level. When I was having fun going to parties doing that, that was more than enough. I'm getting blown out of my mind by drinking this little drink called bourbon and whiskey and smoking a little joint called weed that people, you really got to get worse than this? It's almost unimaginable how bad people want to get off a drug. And when you have, in this case, now you have two legal drugs that could set you back on your ass. So that's just my take on it. Don't really believe it's what you make of it. That's it.
Yeah.
If you get up and you do it like a drinker, I got friends that can't wait to get home and crack open a cold beer because of a long, hard day's work. What if you the type that is you just want to smoke a joint when you got off? That's it. That's how they comparing them now. That's how you got to look at it. You're looking at two controlled substances that's being sold by the law, being taxed, that alters people's state of mind, alcohol and weed, but yet you let them do it. And people drink driving all the time. And, there's so many bad situations with alcohol that happens that they doesn't happen on weed, but yet they want to deem weed as a worse drug.
Do we need drug dealers in this country? Do you believe we need drug dealers?
You need drug dealers. Where am I supposed to get my supply from? Cuz come on, cuz I ain't got no doctors yet on the payroll. So, but nah, man, you never not gonna have.
No, I didn't say
drug
that.
dealers.
I say, dude, for me, I get a feeling that throughout this whole time of history, even though America are drug dealers, or some people who once they get, we talking about the big dudes, the American gangster, the Frank Lucas. Does America really need those people selling this stuff? Because let's be honest, they get a lot of this stuff in. Somebody knows it's getting in. So do they need that to circulate and for people to be selling that and for people to be and for citizens to be using that? But it makes me think about
what you mean. Do we need it?
So it makes me question the top heads. I go to Scandal, the B613. Do they allow
the El Chapos?
Do they allow
Pablo Escobars?
The El Chapos to these people? They allow that to a certain degree because they need that circulate. So meaning you need, because the lower level cats, get caught. So you kind of, let's be honest, if they just kind of made harm done to oneself legal, then that's a lot less people in prison. So meaning, what I mean by harm to myself, people doing crack cocaine, heroin, and what's the drug on Breaking Bad? Meth. So if I want to cook some meth, do some meth, if I'm doing it to me, if I want to do that myself, I ain't hurting nobody. And to me, if I want to buy that, why are you mad at the seller? Like, meaning, if I want to buy meth or whatever and hurt myself, leave the other person. I hate when people say, Like when you talk about these drugs, I mean, I get it to a certain point, but I don't like when drugs, when people, when whoever, kids or whoever are buying drugs, they are less on the hook for the person selling the drug. Meaning there has to be supply and demand. So
I know. Yeah.
So
I mean, you gotta want it for the first time.
You gotta want this thing consistently. And most people who die on drugs, they're not trying it for the first time. Let's be honest. That's most people who try drug for the first time is for instance, that person who drank for the first time. Okay, that drunk driver that's not more times than not. That's not the first time they've been drunk. Can we agree on that? You see what I'm saying? So meaning they're drinking consistently, and then that happens. So when we talking about drugs, it's people wanting the drugs. So what's the problem? If I want something, leave me alone. Let me do it in my house. I ain't home with nobody. What's the problem with that?
Yeah, but it's the moral aspect of it. Of
dude, why do I get arrested?
Are you indirectly hurting people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you said,
okay. And I'll give you an example. I can buy a gun, shoot myself in the leg. I go to jail, not the person I bought the gun from. Obviously, because it's legal. Obviously, because it's legal. But if you can't just go around shooting yourself in the leg or shooting yourself. They're gonna put you in jail.
But that's also probably an accident. That's also probably an accident. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
but what I'm saying is,
you don't accidentally spark up the drugs. You meant to spark up the drugs.
That's my point. So I get a feeling that the reason why it's so hard, in my opinion, for all 50 states to legalize marijuana is because you're gonna lose a lot of people gonna be out of business who on the side paying off police. It happens, guys. Act like it's not happening. Big facts. A lot of the what's ever being input in whoever knows is corruption. So is it because of the corruption? That's what I feel on that. It's a lot of corruption that's holding stuff from being legal that maybe should be legal. In a sense, I don't really care. I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed. Again, I'm not saying I never smoked. It's a flip side of that coin too. It's a flip side of that coin where like one could say that the states now want to legalize it to make money off of it themselves. Forget the drug. Forget Joe Blow making the money off the drug. People want tax this motherfucker so much. How about we just go ahead and sell it and start making the money? Well, they'll get us out of. Should get us out of debt,
and then
right?
And then if you back to maybe corruption on that side. Now you got certain loopholes and stuff like that. People who grow the stuff are being overlooked, or they're donating to certain causes, get a certain judge or official elected. Ooh, I mean, there's endless bounds and opportunities to it. So that is a good question, though. But
it's too much stuff. It's too much that's going on, for it. But again, I also believe that self-inflicted because I want to smoke, and I'm getting in trouble. If you come over and I smell like smoke, I can potentially be searched. I can go to jail. The same thing for alcohol, but if I smell like something, I can get searched and I can whatever can transpire in there.
Yeah. Well, at the time, you smell like something that was illegal. Which is why,
But the legal thing is one of the things that I hate because, and let me take my glasses off when I say this. How, I'm not going to use no foul language because my mama might be listening, but how in one state the legal age is 16, in another state the legal age is 18.
Okay, we talked about this before. It's state level. That's back to what you believe. Do you believe?
I don't care. And why? For all these people in the world, why is it okay for an 18-year-old to date a 65-year-old, but a 17-year-old can't date a 21-year-old?
That's not true.
Now listen to what I'm saying. Obviously you can, but what I'm saying is there are instances where if you're 21 and that girl's 17, that person has gone to jail because she's under 18. But when that person turns 18, what's the difference? What miraculously changed that much? That, it's like, you 18? I'm not saying everybody's happy with it, but that person 18, she can go be with Robert Kraft. She can go be with one of them old millionaires or billionaires. And nobody, she 18, who cares? Or your mama like, you 18, you get out of my house. I mean, in my culture, when that's the time I'm needed the most, because I'm trying to find my way when I'm 18. I'm still a kid. I'm just trying to figure out the outcry. And like David Chappelle said, how old is 15 really? And that's what make me mad about a lot of these laws and what makes them, because it's so ticky-tack and situational. And I really, it hurts me based on state, because one state she's 16 and we Gucci, so we go across the line, everything Gucci. We cross this is illegal. What sense does that make? But go ahead, man, take off.
All right, so first off, just the way you explaining it, you letting me know that you like the federal side of it, because that's the argument. It's the United States. Each state is their own thing. They made up when the leaders back in the 1776, they thought about that. So to your question, what age is good? The guys who was running this state said, I think 18 is good. And then that's when another one was like, nah, I think at 17 you're good enough to make your own decision. So they made it 17. And here's the beauty of it. You don't like the law in that state because the other one is a little different. Go move to that state.
That's true.
Okay, so that's out there. But then to your moral questions, we are humans. Okay, so there is nothing we can come up that's going to satisfy what you're dissatisfied about.
Yeah,
because humans don't 1 second. I'm too immature to make my own decisions, but the next second I just hit a plateau where I'm good enough where I'm smart enough and wise enough to make my own decisions. No, experience is gradual, wisdom is gradual, knowledge is gradual. Everything adds up. So everybody ages differently, mentally and physically. So with there being no set point on which somebody is mature enough to make their own decisions, you have to come up with what you feel like is the best middle ground. So that 18 is kind of, one could say that is arguably one of the better middle grounds. Because here's the honest truth. An 18-year-old, 17-year-old, and a lot of, and I was going to say Jewish is one of them, but like bar mitzvahs and stuff. But even then, Hispanic culture, what we talked about with quinceañeras and stuff like that.
Yes.
A 15-year-old, they believe, is old enough to be held accountable for your own thoughts and actions. Now, many people might disagree with that because it takes age and wisdom to realize how much shit you didn't really know at 15 years old. Even at 18, even at 22. You know, we over 30 now, bro. And we look back when I was 23, 24, it's like, man, I was still making kind of silly decisions. I just told you it took me 3 tries to graduate. So obviously at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I wasn't focused enough. I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't disciplined enough. I wasn't wise enough to realize what I was doing was going to affect me when I'm 30. Because, you know, when you're young, man, you live in the moment. It takes you getting older, and it's cliche as shit. Because when you're young, you don't want to hear it, and that's all you used to hear. And it's funny because what did the older folks tell you? Wait till you get older. You're going to see, and then you're going to be telling the younger generation. Now, we telling the younger generation that when they get older, they're going to see. And it's just a revolving cycle. So to bring it all the way home, you keep on going. To bring it all the way home, it's really tough because of that nature. Now, again, when they draw that line, that's a line of we are past it. So like you said, 17 in some states, 16 in some states, 18 is different. But usually at 18, that was the universal. Then it became 21 for some things, but alcohol and things like that. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they started realizing even 18-year-olds are having trouble making wise ass decisions. maybe they need 3 more years to get their shit together. Okay, and now some questions are being argued. Should we raise some things to 25? Because here's the thing. God forbid accidents don't happen. Sicknesses and illnesses. God bless everybody. But average lifespan is high 70s. And with medicine and technology, it's getting even older. So if average life age is, say, 80 years old, then that means 80 years old minus your 25. 55 years of do whatever you want. 25 years of certain restrictions. Again, we're not restricting you everything. It ain't like you can't live life. It's just certain things that are reserved for older, wiser humans you can't do just yet. And once you turn 25, you happy you got it. And when you 30 and 35 and 40, you'll probably be like, you know what? Actually, I'm glad it was 25 because under 25 you become part of the realization. And this is a crazy life cycle that comes with time, age, and wisdom. And all that, there's no set date. So you cannot please what I believe you are dissatisfied with. I really don't think there is. It's just it's a gradual step, and it comes and goes. And at some point, you're gonna have to make a decision that you're too far past it. And it's about 18 to 21 years old.
Time is one of those things we always want to go faster. We always want back. We can't get back, and we always wish we had more. Crazy, right? Be like, when I'll say it again. Time is always one of those things we can't get back. We always want it to go faster. We always want to go faster. We always want more. Meaning, when I was younger, I was like, man, I can't wait till I get 18. I can't wait till I get 21. I can't wait till I get...
None of us couldn't wait.
Man, what? Oh, I'm like, man, I wish I could go back in time.
I don't want all these buy that first bottle of Hennessy, dog. I swear.
Exactly. So we can't wait to get there. And then when we're having a good time and we're getting older, man, I wish time could just stop. I want more time. I want more of this. I want more time on vacation. I want more vacation. I want to relax more. I wish we had more than 24 hours in a day. So time has 4
makes you
phases.
Cherish and appreciate things.
Yes, it makes you cherish and appreciate things. So time, remember y'all, time has 4 phases. That's what I think. Time, not 4 phases, but we think about time and we say things about time in 4 different ways. And that's the thing we always have to think about, when it comes to time and a whole plethora
and that's
of
a topic wanted to touch on too, is time about being perception. Time ain't real.
Yeah.
So in other words, like me and you could be like physically living the same with seconds on the clock, but even mentally, time passes in our mind differently. Because if I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, man, it feel like time flew by. Man, where did that 2 hours go? I was just with a loved one. I was doing something I love. 2 hours went by like it's nothing. But all of a sudden, you locked up. You in prison. You in a very uncomfortable situation. And you like, God, that clock is not moving.
It's taking forever. Yes.
So it's because you're perceiving it. So that's one theory of with time. So that's a good topic though.
Lot of theories out there, folks. And back to the whole laws and stuff. This is just for people to think about. I've raised a question.
Food for thought.
And I like to raise things for people because I want people to understand these things. And when people get upset and when they have an outcry about this, and this, it's like, well, this, right? And it's like, well, this. And I sometimes I just like to ask the question, and I want to know why, people upset about certain things when I'm looking at it. It's not like the person's 10 or 11, y'all not tripping because it is, but you tripping because it is. I mean, it baffles me by some things, and I'm not with that 25 for alcohol and stuff like that. I can't do it. I ain't for that, because I'm just thinking about when I was younger, having to wait to go to clubs and to do different things. What I believe what we need to do is we need to get to a space to stop what's funny? No matter what in this world you do, if you do too much of it, it can become your demise. And you can drink a lot of water, you can die from drinking too much water. You eat too much food, you get fat. You don't eat enough, you're too skinny, and you can die from eating too much food, not eating enough. Okay? No matter what,
that goes for activities and stuff too.
Whatever you
goes
you
for
drink,
everything.
You drink alcohol a lot. You drink alcohol a lot, you can die.
I'm picking up what you putting down.
Yeah. So whatever it is that you do in this life, it can be harmful for you. So whatever you do, try to balance it out and make sure it is a balance from what you're doing, and don't do too much. Because some people love on a person too hard, and that person don't do the same, and it drives them mad and crazy and insane, leads to suicide. So let's just make sure you're careful of not overdoing anything, no matter if that's work, because again, you never know what can happen, and you want to have multitask, or be a Renaissance person, have multiple things that you can like and that you can do, and don't overdo something to where then it becomes harm, because even something good that you can see as good as we need water in our body could be harmful if it's done too much.
Of course. In any form of fashion.
No doubt. Form of fashion. So, hey man.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and bring us home with that? Say that again?
Oh yeah. Great episode. This was amazing episode. I believe best episode
already
yet. It's fun, engaging. More for to come. More things to come. Like I say,
looking forward to hot special take topic guests. Oh, yes. I can't wait, boy. Can't wait.
Yes, special guests coming. And hey, don't forget, anybody who listening, watching, don't forget you can email us at say.that.again.podcast1@gmail.com. Don't forget, when you on YouTube, don't just subscribe, but hit that notification bell, ding. If you're watching on YouTube, all our podcast users, we loving y'all. A lot of love from Apple Podcasts.
Already shout out, yeah.
All
the audio listeners, all the video listeners, yeah.
It's been a lot of love, but I gotta get some water.
You gotta get over that. Get you. You know what I'm saying? Get your little back. Get your little back.
Yeah.
That ain't 19 though, is it? That ain't 19.
No, it ain't no 19. Just a little. Sure. Just need some water. Got
that ain't DAC Nueve. That ain't no DAC Nueve.
But to end us off here, I love to end off on great notes and with some positivity that you can take to your next day, to the rest of the week. And I'll say this: success is never owned; it is rented, and the rent is due every day. Success is never owned; it is rented, and the rent is due every day.
Every day. And with that being said, we want to thank y'all for listening to that Say That Again podcast. I've been your boy AG the OG with my man KG the Kid. Hope y'all good. Peace.